Well, I want to apologize for the beginning of this video. My phone was mounted like it is right now on my selfie stick, horizontally. But unfortunately, it was filming vertically. I don't know how or why, but if you watch the beginning of this video and you watch the shadows, you'll see my phone is mounted horizontally on my selfie stick, but yet it was recording vertically. I don't know how or why, but it's crazy, but I want to apologize in advance for that because I did not know it was doing that. And stick around to the end of this video because I've got a surprise for y'all. A little bit of a surprise. And this is why I like hydroponics. All right, y'all. I'm going to do my best to show y'all what I'm doing today. If this wind would slow down a little bit, it'd be nice. This is Oklahoma, so the wind just doesn't like to stop blowing sometimes. Anyway, as you can see, I got the pump and the valves sitting here. I got the pump screwed down. I got hoses ran. I've got to cut some more hose line and run it, which is something I'm going to be doing today. I already got my buckets, black buckets, rinsed out and washed out, cleaned up and ready to go. I'm only going to be able to do 6 of these buckets today because I've only got 6 of the teas that I need. And I'll show you that and get to that here a little bit later here in the video. But for right now, this right here is what I'm going to be working with. Now, last year when I first hooked up my hydroponics, I didn't have anything underneath that valve. And you could hear that thing vibrating all the way in our house. I mean, it was horribly loud. And so I came out and I stuck a rag up underneath it. I zip tied the rag down. And it worked great. It dampened that sound. I couldn't hear it anywhere in the house or anything. Couldn't even really hear it out here. So I'm fixing to put a rag, down there and zip tie it to the wood. It wasn't as easy as I had already had everything. Now, I'm not going to zip tie this down. I'm just going to zip tie this down and then sit this on top of it. So it'll be like this right here. Now, if I can get all fat butt down here. These are the 1-inch stones, aeration stones that I put in there. I put 2 in each bucket. You don't need like a huge aeration stone in there. It just need to get air in the water is all. And this put enough air in the water. But as you can see, they're smooth. And so the hose just slides right off. And then they're just sitting down in there and not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And then the hose floats up to the top because the hose is full of air. All right, y'all. I thought I took my teas in the house, but I didn't. They were out here in one of the buckets. I left them out here in one of the buckets. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about when I talk about a tea. Okay, now these I got off of Amazon. These are little, again, this is all. I don't know if I told y'all this yet, but the air pumps are. I just went on Amazon and I did aquatic air pumps or fish tank air pumps, something like air pumps. I just typed in air pumps. And I found those 2 air pumps. Okay, and then I did fish tank or aquaponics. Type in aquaponics and search aquaponics, hoses, and things to that effect. And you'll find all this stuff because this is what you can use for fish tanks. All this stuff right here. It's not irrigation, grade or anything like that. It's just stuff you can get off of Amazon for fish tanks, aquaponics. You may even be able to find them at Walmart.com or even in the Walmart store. Okay. Now I'm going to super glue these to the hose. I'm going to super glue this end. Oops. I'm going to super glue this end to the hose right here. And then that way I could tee off 2 hoses. And then I'm going to super glue hoses and then my stones. And I'll show you all that here in just a minute, how I'm going to do this. All right, so this here's from last year. Okay, this is one of the hoses that was down inside one of the buckets last year with the air stone hooked to it. Okay, and as you can see, it's got a white coating on it, like a calcium buildup or something from the water. It's not hard to clean off, just a wet rag, and just wipe it right down, and it comes right off the hose. And now you got a clean hose. Okay, so the wind is blowing so hard here. It blew my hat off my head and everything. And I'm sorry, didn't mean to cough in the microphone. The wind is blowing so hard, it blew my hat right off my head. And this is the super glue. As you can see, I've already super glued the T. I'll get an up closer view here for y'all here in a minute. But see if I can get this. Clean, dry surface. Now I'm putting the super glue back, you know, about halfway or a little over halfway down on the stem of the stone, and as I did with the T. This way the hose can slide on without getting a bunch of glue up inside of it, and it won't get to the glue until it's up on there a good distance. And then the glue should hold it. Let me bring you all over here so y'all can see what I'm talking about. All right. So here's the stone. I put the glue back up here towards the end or towards the middle. All right. So as I slide the hose up on here, the hose doesn't get glue up inside it and restrict the airflow. The hose doesn't hit the glue until it gets all the way up here, and then it just kind of pushes and slides over top of the glue. Same thing as with this T. As you can see, I glued the T here. I didn't even get this hose all the way on the T before it actually glued on me, because I got the glue just a little too close to the edge, and so it glued before I could get it all the way on there. Now the glue that I'm using, I got it cheap. I think Dollar Tree or Dollar General or something. I think it was Dollar Tree is where I got it from. It came in a 2-pack. It's just some cheap super glue, but it actually works really well for cheap. I mean, I bought some name brand stuff that doesn't work with a crap, but this cheap stuff right here, it's amazing. It works very well, and it's a super glue gel. It's not, which is really cool. I mean, and being a gel, it works very well. So anyway, I'm not affiliated or anything, so you won't find any affiliate links or anything. Super glue. Last stuff sticks to the fingers. Oh, there we go, right on there. There we go. Now, hopefully, and I know this stuff will stick. I've never had an issue with it. And we'll put that back down in there. We'll pull this way, and we will sit those down in there like that. put a little more line in there. There we go. And there we go. And now let me show y'all this. All right. So let's see if we can see this. Sorry, y'all. Let's see. These will sit down in there. All right, y'all. I was going to videotape, but this wind just does not want to die down today. It just keeps blowing and blowing and blowing, as you can see by my flag flapping around the wind there. And anyway, I didn't think y'all would want to watch me go through super gluing all these. Right now, I super glued the stones to the hose and the hose to the tees. Now, y'all see me do that. I did that to all 6 buckets here. Those 2, these 2, and these 2. All right, like I said, I've got to wait for some more of them plastic tees to come in before I can do these 4. My wife and I, look, them lids, they've gotten so expensive now. It's ridiculous. So my wife and I decided we're just going to do 2 peppers in hydroponics and 2 peppers in dirt. So I'm gonna take 2 of them buckets there to stick in these buckets, and then I'm gonna fill the 2 buckets over here with dirt, and I'm going to put some peppers in them, and then these 2 over here are going to be banana peppers. I'm gonna have banana peppers in those. I quit filming for a couple of days because of how hard the wind was blowing, and it's let up some today, but it's still not safe enough for me to stand the phone up and leave it on its own, at least not in a very high position. So anyway, enough said. I got the pump hooked up right there. I got all the hoses ran, the pump hook. Y'all see me do that. Now look, when you super glue, do not if you super glue your stones and your tees to the hoses, okay, don't super glue your hoses to the valve. Okay, don't do that, because they won't come off the valve, and if they do, you can always put them back on there. But that valve has barbs on it, so they don't usually come loose from the valve. It's just they always come loose from the hose. And I didn't put the one-way air valves on this time. I don't think I really needed them, and some of them are clogged up from last store. They're just not working and working properly. Kind of a waste of money if I really don't need them. But anyway, I'm fixing to get these buckets filled with water. I got my pH down right there. So once I get them filled, where's my pH? Here's my pH tester. Okay, I got a new pH tester this year. The other one didn't seem to want to work correctly. At least it didn't act like it. So I got this new one I'm going to use to test the pH, and then I'm going to drop the pH. I already know I'm going to need the pH down. At least one of these pipettes, these little plastic pipettes. Man, you can get these, like 50 of them for like $4 or $5 off of Amazon. And I mean, I probably got 100 of them in a package for like $5 or something. Probably not even that much, actually, I don't think. There's little plastic pipettes. And it's only going to take about, if I remember correctly, it'll take about maybe a little over one of these to bring the pH down to around 60, 65. For Roma tomatoes, this is the pH down. And we're going to put this in the buckets because we have to bring that pH down for the tomatoes. We're going to put a good healthy, we're going to put at least 2 of these in there. Like that, right there. We'll bring that pH down. And because I did the water should be the same in all of them. The pH shouldn't be different in any of the buckets. The water all came from the same exact place. So the pH should be the same in every single one of these buckets. So I'm going to put 2 of these in each one of these buckets, And then I'm going to plug in the pump, and I'm going to let air pump through, kind of mix it up a little bit, and then we'll do another pH test down. Because you have to let the water settle a little bit, let that pH bring the temperature down, or let this stuff bring the pH down. So let's get after it here. Let's get the extension cord over here. Ran out. Let me see if I can put y'all down here somewhere where y'all can see and hopefully not blow over while I get the extension cord set out here. Now I've got an adapter that I'm going to be plugging into the end of this extension cord that will allow me to plug in both of these pumps. Now, these air pumps that I got, they can be outside in the rain, even when they're plugged in. I've never had an issue. Even all last year, they've gotten rained on and everything. Never had an issue with any of it. You just plug right into the extension cord. Like I said, I've got an adapter that'll let me plug both of them in at the same time. Right now, I just want to get one set of these running for y'all. All right, let's go check our buckets and see if we got some water blowing through yet. Nope, no water yet, or no air yet. Wonder if my pump went bad. Oh gosh, I hope not. Oh no, got to open up the valves. Got to open the valves up to let the air flow. These have to be facing the hose, right? See, you got to turn them. You got to be facing the length of the hose. So, to let the air flow through. I had all the valves shut off. Now let's look. Oh, check it out. We have airflow. We have air bubbles. Uh-oh, somebody's not blowing air over here. I got one bad stone. I may have to cut a stone off. Yeah. All right, so this stone right here is not releasing air. So I'm gonna have to cut that one off and put another one on there. I like to have both stones blowing air. Yeah, I got another one over here that's not blowing air either. So, yep. We're gonna have to, well, I'm wondering if maybe I don't need one stone per bucket, not 2 stones per bucket. I think having 2 stones per bucket is not allowing the air. Like if I cut off the air to this hose right here, I get more air pressure on them. So on the other ones. So I think maybe it's just maybe it's that pump. Come on, wind, stop. Maybe it's that pump not pumping as strong as it did last year, or maybe I just got the pumps mixed up. Either way, they're both air pumps, and I just don't know if one puts out more air pressure than the other or not. I think the one does, because if I'm not mistaken, I got one that put out more air pressure than the other when I first bought them. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Y'all see how this works, right? Now all I gotta do is shut the air off, do another pH test to make sure that it's down around 60, 65. Okay, I'm gonna zip tie this one down. I'm sorry, y'all, but the wind is blowing so hard today. I can't set y'all up and where y'all can see better than this. I have to have you down low because of the wind, so the wind doesn't blow my phone over. Get away from me, dang gum bugs. All right, so I told you I got holes in the lid and in the bucket to be able to zip tie the lid of the bucket, the lid to the bucket. There's one. And here's number 2. There we go. Now I am not going to tighten these all the way down because I still, again, like I said, I want to be able to open these up like a, you know, to be able to check the pH and stuff in them and add nutrients. Ugh. Wind keeps blowing all my stuff away. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Make sure my phone ain't going anywhere. All right. Now this will help keep the wind from taking them off. See? Now, all I got to do is the other 5. All right. We got 1 gallon jug of General Hydroponics Flora Grow, General Hydroponics Flora Micro, and General Hydroponics Flora Bloom. We got 1 gallon each. This dang gum wind won't stop blowing for 5 seconds, so anyway, I'm going to be using a different pipette for each one of them. You don't want to use the same pipette for all 3 of them. But I'm going to put I'm going to start with 1 of these, and I'm going to put, well, the Miracle Grow and the Miracle Flora. I'm going to put 2 of these in there, and then when it comes to the micro, I'm going to put about 3, maybe 4 of those in there. And the reason why is because the seeds and the saplings as they grow are going to need them micros. I mean, they're going to need the micros their whole life cycle, but they need that more than anything. Okay. Now, once they start growing and they get up to, I think, about 1 inch or so, I'll start using 2, about 3 of those grows. And right about the time they start to bloom and grow tomatoes, I'll start putting about 3 of those in there. Clay balls right here that I'm using. I got a bucket of them from last year. I'm rinsing them off, and then I'm putting them in there. Okay. But I gotta put the nutrients in before I put those in. I gotta put the nutrients in that bucket, and then all the other bucket, and then I'll put the clay balls in the rest of them, and then we'll go from there, and I'll show you the rest of it after that. All right, y'all. I'm sorry about these camera angles, but it's the best I can do right now with the wind blowing like it's been doing. I don't want to lose my phone. It's already cracked from falling over before in the past. But anyway, this right here, these are the seeds, the tomato seeds in the water. These are the sponges. I'm going to put 2 tomato seeds per sponge. The reason I'm going to put 2 seeds per sponge is in the event that one doesn't grow. Chances are the other one will. So it's like a better chance of getting a tomato plant than not. Because last year I planted 1 seed at a time, and I ended up needing to do like a replant on, didn't go in there, on like 3 of them. So I put 2 per sponge, and they always have one grow. So, all right, now I got this sponge in this plastic container. It's going to go, well, let me put this up here like this so I can make sure y'all can see. So now I got the sponge, I got the seeds in the sponge, And I got the sponge in this plastic thing. Now I'm gonna stick it down in there, just like that right there. And now I'm gonna put a sticker on there to keep the sunlight out. Because the seeds need to have darkness. And so I've got these stickers, these round stickers. And these things, well, let's just say they suck. Because the center part of the sticker tends to want to come off. I gotta make sure they're not gonna blow away on me here, y'all. Alright, so these are what the stickers look like. Let me pick this up and show you. So I'm not sure if I'm getting this right. Okay, so there we go. They're round, and in the center part here, I don't know if y'all can see that on the camera or not, but you can see that center part popping up. That's the centerpiece that keeps the seed hidden in the center. So I'm gonna pull this back out like this, and I'm gonna put the sticker on it. I don't know if y'all can see what I'm doing here or not. I hope y'all can. Maybe I need to bring this up a little bit. I don't know. I'm doing my best here, y'all, with this wind and everything. See, look, the center sticker, the centerpiece fell off. So I gotta stick it down there on that wet sticker, and that wet, and then this goes over it like this. So now I got that round piece down there on the sponge. Hopefully the plant will be able to push its way through. It should be able to push its way through that sticker. They usually do. We're gonna put it back up there in that. And we're gonna surround it with them clay balls. And there it is, right there. That's how you want it to look, right there. Now the air pumps are on, pumping air. And when I get finished, all 6 of these buckets are gonna look just like this right here. There's gonna be a sponge and a plastic thing, and 2 seeds in each one. And we'll just go from there, and I'll show you that here in just a minute, y'all. All right, y'all. Here's what it's gonna look like when they're all finished. Right there. There's 2. Those 2. And those 2. I did the hydroponics on March 30th or 31st, and this is April 5th. And so within basically a week, I've already got tomato plants growing. Not all of them are growing just yet. But they are growing. Some of them are still underneath the stickers. You can see it down in there. Right there.